This is Miss Alicia, Spiritual Wellness Mindset Coach. I help people who struggle with forgiveness and the negative impact of starting over. Today's message is stop nagging, do your part. And it's coming from Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. A while back, a job that I had, my career job, I also signed up to be a union rep. And I was a union rep for 11 years, and I never lost a case. Not my goodness that I didn't lose a case, but I always went to God about every case that I had to do, and the Lord allowed me to be successful. People would come to me and say, Miss Alicia, can you represent me? I say, what's up? Some would say, I found out that X, Y, and Z was getting paid more than me, and I've been here longer than them. And I say, you sure? You got proof? Yeah, I got proof. How you know? Because I had a conversation with them and they were talking about it. I didn't say nothing right then, but I kept it in mind. Also, you guys who have worked, I'm pretty sure you've heard people say, you're not supposed to discuss your pay on the job. You shouldn't be asking people what each other make because it could cause a problem. It could cause some havoc, right? Some mischief. So people pretty much really don't ask, okay? But people find out that, hey, I think such and such making more than me. They ain't been here longer than me. And that's not fair. Okay? Y'all doing the same exact work. All right. So I got 3 definitions for you before we get started. And the first definition is worker. Worker is a person that does a specific type of work for a specified type of way of doing it. The next word is hire. Hire is employ someone for wages, temporary use for an agreed payment. And lastly, pay. Pay is when you give someone something or monies for the work that they have done. And payment doesn't always have to be money. Payment can be settling up with somebody, an old debt, forgiving somebody of their debt, okay? Food or a favor that you'll be able to use in the future. Now, I am going to read to you 1 through 16. Stay tuned. You cannot always get a breakthrough by listening 1 to 2 minutes, okay? It's just like people who use a microwave and people who choose to warm their food up in the oven. Yeah, they both get heated up. But it's something about when you put that food in the oven and it come out. And you get them mittens and you're like, yeah, I've been waiting for this. Well, that's what my messages are like. Honestly, I would have loved to be able to tell you guys, it's best to listen to my messages when you're relaxed. Maybe when you're in the car, on your way to work, on your way home, when you laying down. Some people have great messages that the Lord has given them, okay? Especially. And you don't want to rush through that. God called me to speak on forgiveness. It's not easy. We all deal with issues with forgiveness. But the Lord called me, I have answered, okay? I also have 2 books out on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. You can find them at Walmart online. It's called Forgiveness is for Me. I forgave what I never heard and moved on. And this is an issue that I had on my job, okay? And I dealt with unforgiveness in my heart, which led to depression, anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD, okay? But the Lord, He delivered me from all of them. So here's the book, okay? It's 33 pages. And not only is it talking about me, how I dealt with the issues of forgiveness in my heart and how the Lord delivered me. But I'm talking to you guys as well. I'm telling you other things, other scenarios, okay, that would probably hit home with you. Then I have a workbook. And this is to help you figure out whether or not you're dealing with forgiveness, unforgiveness in your heart, okay? Helps you acknowledge, expose, and so forth. Now, I'm going to read. Listen up. And afterward, I'm going to give you the message that the Lord has given to me to give to you. This is Matthew 20, verses 1 through 16. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right.' So they went. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, 'Why have you been standing here all day long, doing nothing?' 'Because no one has hired us,' they answered. He said to them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard.' When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, 'Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first.' The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more, but each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. 'These who were hired last worked only 1 hour,' they said, 'and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day.' But he answered one of them, 'I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first and the first will be last.'" I'm going to stop right there. So you say, "Okay, what you saying, Miss Alicia? I heard you. So you telling me that there was a landowner and he had a vineyard. And so he went out looking for folks that would work in his vineyard to get some things done. And he told them how much he was willing to pay. And they agreed. They started out early in the morning. So I can only imagine it was probably cool in the morning. Then the heat started kicking in. They sweating. You understand what I'm saying? Then it said later on, he went again a couple of times within the midday. He saw some folks laying around and he's like, "You want to make some money?" They like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know what? Go to my vineyard and I'm going to pay you." So they went. And then lastly, toward the end of the day, he went out again. And he saw some more people, offered them, they accepted, they went. So at the end of the day, he sent his foreman, he said, "Hey, go pay them. Matter of fact, go and pay the ones that just got here. Pay them first and then work your way back." So mind you, the persons that been there all day is looking at all these people ahead of them like, "Wait a minute, you came last and you get to get served first?" So they got their little denarius. The mid folks got their denarius. And then the ones that been there all day got their denarius. But they grumbling like, "Wait a minute, that ain't fair. You gonna give them the same that you gave us? And I've been out here sweating. I've been out here since before the sun started beaming." And the landowner said, "You know what? Do you think I cheated you? I didn't cheat you. I gave you what I said I would give you, and you agreed." Midday folks say, "Hey, we already know what you said you was going to give us, and we appreciate it." And the ones that was only there for like an hour, maybe they like, I'm just thankful. This is I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity. I understand I didn't work that long, but I would have. I appreciate you. So what you saying, Miss Alicia? Where's the forgiveness in this? You say you speak on forgiveness. Are you trying to tell me something? Yeah, I am. God is saying, there are people that have been serving the Lord for a long time. Our parents and their parents. And they feel automatically, hey, I've been serving for a long time. And I know my reward should be great. Then there's those middays around our ages, right? And you say, well, I've been serving the Lord for a long time too. So I know that I should have a reward up there too. But then you got the young generation too. And they are people who just started serving the Lord, right? And somebody might be like, how is it that they get the same reward like when I started back in the 80s and the 50s? God is saying, I am the landowner. I am God Almighty. And I will bless those whom I choose. So what is he saying? Stop nagging and do your part. Remember the words today. Worker, hire, pay. Stay focused. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.